Mikel Arteta has finally signed Mikel Merino, but is that all that is to this deal? Let's find out. I'm Ty Knight here for TK24 Sports. Now, if you're new to the show, like, subscribe, turn that notification on so you don't miss a show every time we upload. The road to 1,000 subscribers is well and truly on, and you guys keep on coming back to watch, makes it happen. So let's go. So Arsenal have finally signed Mikel Merino. It's done. It's dusted. At last, the saga has ended. So Arsenal finally have potentially, I'm going to say this again, potentially the left-sided midfielder, or it could be the defensive midfielder. We just don't know. We can only speculate because of what we've seen him play for Real Sociedad and, of course, in Spain. Now, my conclusion is this. I don't have one. Why? Because I'm waiting to see how Mikel Arteta is going to formulate this team once he is wearing the shirt. So, Arsenal's midfield now is Jorginho, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and of course, Mikel Merino. That is enough to get Arsenal through this season. A lot of you will say, no way. Remember, Arsenal can still play Fabio Vieira there. And that makes a difference of, I say, an attacking force for a Martin Odegaard. I'm not leaving him out. I'm just saying when it comes to just the spine of it, of the midfield, you have to look at a Declan Rice, a Jorginho, a Thomas Partey, and now a Mikel Merino as well. Even whenever that can play in that position, but I just don't think he is ready as of yet to take part in a left-sided midfield or, of course, a defensive, because that's not his game. So Arsenal are doing something. Mikel Arteta is going back to the roots of an Arsene Wenger. He is building big men. When I say building, he's going after big guys over 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". There's no Arsenal midfielder apart from Jorginho. He's on the cusp of a 6 foot, but you've got Thomas Partey who's 6 foot. You've got Mikel Merino over 6 foot. You've got Thomas Partey, no, Declan Rice over 6 foot as well. So that is a big midfield. Whereas before, remember when Arsene Wenger had that with their Invincibles, he then went small after losing the Champions League final to Barcelona, and he thought small and nimble was the way forward. The big chunky guys, as the likes of your Gilberto Silva, your Patrick Vieira, your Ray Parlers and stuff like that was not needed no more. But Arsenal are going back to some old roots, and I'm happy with this. Big, strong men, pace, power. They do have some pace in there, and there's a lot of power as well. But now I'm just waiting to see how Mikel Merino is going to help Arsenal get closer to the Premier League and lift it at the end of May. I think it can happen. I really and truly do. And with the additions of a Calafiore now that's also been added to the team, Arsenal are looking great. A lot of you are still thinking, no, Ty, it's not great because we don't have a right winger. We don't have a striker. It's notably for a striker, but I think Arsenal are covered in that position. I really do. But back to Mikel Merino. Is this signing enough? Was this signing enough for you to get excited to think that Arsenal have finally fixed a problem that was missing last season? Yes, they brought in Declan Rice, but their bodies were still missing. No one filled in a gap that Granit Xhaka left when we saw the best of Granit Xhaka after he left for Leverkusen, and of course went on to win major trophies. So Mikel Merino coming in at the price tag that Arsenal paid, I don't think is expensive at all. I think we're just in the old world of thinking if you got a year left in your contract, that means your value is next to nothing in the sense of we should only be paying 20 million, 25 million. Those days are gone. I'm sorry. Those days are gone, long and gone. So Arsenal have done well to capture Mikel Merino because if he had 2 to 3 years left on his contract, we would still be looking at maybe a 50 to 55, maybe a 60 million. The age is just a number to a certain degree. If it still starts with a 2, then guess what? In his 20s, he's still got valuable time left on him. A lot of people are looking at Gundogan and saying, well, why didn't Arsenal go in for him? I believe they did, but really and truly, as he left City, he's got history with City. If they come back calling, it's no brainer. Go back to City, start winning trophies again, start playing again. Even though he's 33, he's not a bit part player, but he's still going to add value to City. And this is what Arsenal have done with Mikel Merino. They've added value, and great value as that. Now, of course, when his contract ends, he's going to be in his early 30s, and then Arsenal can still assess by then and say, okay, let's give you another year, let's give you another 2 years. So this is smart business from Arsenal, not silly business. Going after someone who's 25, 26, 27, who may not even be an international, an experienced one, and a winner And that in itself is not good business. It just sounds great because the the word will coming out was that Arsenal are going for no more than something of a 25-year-old. Arsenal have done that. They've done their major transfers, bringing in players who are 25 and under. They've built the squad out for that. Now they're adding in quality in terms of leadership qualities, in terms of experience, in terms of what they can bring on the pitch and off the pitch as well, who can help these players get over the line. And that's what we have to focus on. Mikel Merino can do that. But you're saying, but Ty, he's a sub for Spain. He's got Rodri in front of him. Okay, so let's just put that clear. Rodri, as we know, in the Premier League and international, but mainly in the Premier League, we see him week in, week out, turn out for City. So many supporters and supporters of other clubs turn around and say that Rodri is the best DM. You can argue the case for a Declan Rice trying to be in there. You try to argue the case of a Thomas Partey, but universally, everyone's gone with Rodri. So why are you slandering the name of Mikel Merino being a sub to Rodri? That's a compliment. At the end of the day, they keep on bringing him on, as we know and we saw in the Euros. If you watched it, especially against Germany, when he scored that beautiful header that helped Spain get to where they needed to get to, which was lift the European Cup, and they've done that. So that's what we have. We have quality in Moreno. We've got someone who can header. We've got someone who can tackle. We've got someone who can lead, who can drive, who can pass. And people are going to be looking and saying, from what I've seen, I haven't seen any of those things, Ty. So what is it that you're actually talking about? How is Rodri going to help Arsenal? It's going to help Arsenal in multiple ways. It's going to help Arsenal in the air, again, on the ground. He's going to help Arsenal be more comfortable when receiving the ball, when defending the ball, when seeking the ball in terms of pressing. He's going to have all of those things and more. Again, with the heat map that I'm showing you right now, it just shows you just the qualities of him. And that's just for Real Sociedad. So imagine what he's going to do when he comes to Arsenal. When I say comes to Arsenal, when he plays for Arsenal. This is the difference, people. Sometimes you have to look at things objectively and not everything has to be negative. And I'm going to say this. So many players out there in the lower divisions, in the championships right now, who are fantastic players, but they just don't get the cachet or they get the hype because they're in the lower divisions and thinking they're not good enough. So prime example one, I'm going to tell you this from the Mikel Merino when it goes to the forward line. If Arsenal signed Gyökeres from Coventry when he was there, a lot of people, a lot of fans would have said, Mikel Arteta and Edu have lost their mind. Why they go for a championship striker? We need to be going for a world-class striker. A year later, when he goes to Sporting Lisbon, Arsenal now have to pay close to 100 million euros in the £86 million region just to get him for someone who went so cheap from the championship. And that's my point. It's not always buying ready-made players that's been put into the spotlight because they've done well from their transfers. It's about identifying talent that can help Arsenal now and in the future and paying less to do so. And that's why Arsenal went for Mikel Merino, because he's at Real Sociedad. If he was out of Real Madrid or Barcelona and Arsenal got him for this price with a year left on his contract, people would be applauding Edu and saying, that's what we need. That's why he's so good. We've been asking for this and he's finally delivering for a price that we are all happy at. Martin Odegaard, the same thing. We got him on loan. Some people were dubious. And now you think of, if there's no Martin Odegaard, Arsenal don't tick. Not just because Saka's not there, because Odegaard's not there. And look at the still price that we got. So Mikel Merino is no different. He is going to bring so much quality to this team and people are going to be shocked just how good he is. And then the comparisons are going to come out. Do we need Thomas Partey in the squad now? Why don't we sell him when we had a chance in August, in June, July, August? Why didn't we sell him if we knew we were going to get Mourinho in? We could have cashed in on that money, cashed in on his wages, and got even more quality in, like Mikel Merino has shown in Arsenal. So I applaud it. Welcome to Arsenal. And again, if you've got something to say, please leave your comments below. The road to 1,000 subscribers is on, and you guys are going to help me get there by the time this transfer window ends in less than 2 weeks. So I'm Ty Knight here for TK24 Sports. Like, subscribe, turn that notification so you don't miss shows every time you upload. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next show in a few hours.